Anyway, welcome everyone and every not one.
One and all.
Well, welcome everyone to episode 3 of Roasting Buns. Wow,
Hello.
we made it, dude. Episode trace. Lots of things have happened. Lots of things have happened, like I said. Which, how do I word, like the potential structure of our.
We're at a crossroads. We're at a decision point.
Right. We're our new birthed baby. We're now choosing what
Boy or
career
girl.
it will take. I was gonna say boy or girl, but I felt it.
Oops, right?
We could get hate watchers. I mean, I'm cool with that. I'm sure. You know.
That'd be really interesting. That'd be a unique experience that we wouldn't be able to get otherwise.
I know, yeah. Because in comment sections, people are gonna tell you that they hate you, but in like real life, usually someone's gonna hate you, but then like never tell you. So yeah, that'd be fun.
On the internet, drama and what's the word?
Sex?
Now I can't think of the word I was gonna use. What'd you
Drama
say?
and sex sells.
I mean, yeah,
I think you're thinking like
We can do half
internet drama, you know, like that really
yeah. I can't.
that gets pushed. People watch that, like that clip of that dude punching the other dude.
People love that stuff for some
Like-
reason.
Pretty cool, pretty neat. Anyway, so yeah, I think Spencer basically just talk about what you thought of, or you know what you think, and
Yeah.
then we can kind of
So I know nothing about podcasts.
shoot it down. I'm sorry.
Right. I know. Before getting into this, I literally knew nothing about podcasts other than like the 2 or 3 that I listened to. But every time I get into a topic or a subject, I like obsess over it on YouTube and try to learn everything I can about it. And one thing that a lot of people recommend, and a lot of like the common knowledge or the common suggestion, is you have to have a topic for your podcast. If you don't have a topic and you're not famous, you're not going to build an audience. People have to come to you for a reason.
Okay.
That's the theory. That's the suggestion.
Right.
So my thought was, do we want a topic? Because I'm kind of sitting on both sides of the fence. At one side, I love being able to just walk in and talk about nothing and not have any expectations and not be worried about what to talk about. But on the other, I would love for us to build an audience. But I don't really love either idea more than the other.
Now, Trey, you had an idea. I'll speak last on it because I'm sure I'll take a long time. So
I mean, I just mentioned like we could do a season. So like season 1 would be every set episode had a certain topic. It
Right.
still makes it variety, so it doesn't necessarily solve the niche issue. But
It's
I
kinda
was just trying to think of ways around it. We could just make a podcast about how to make a podcast,
yeah,
and then people come
That's what
listen
everyone on
to
YouTube does.
So, but yeah, that was just my thought initially.
so I asked Dan about this because Dan listens to podcasts every day. Not that he's an expert, you know what I mean. So he did this quote.
As a consumer,
This quote was, "A jack of all trades is a master of none, but I'd rather be a jack of all trades than a master of one." Now, what that means is, in this case, right now, if we try to cater to an audience that doesn't exist, sorry guys, you exist in the future, but
Steve-O, you're there for it still.
Yeah, Steve-
but currently
Steve-O's out
right
there.
now, you don't. So if we try to cater to an audience that we don't know of, we're limiting our ability to find that audience. Now, I think a niche would be appropriate if that came to be. So let's say we release videos and we're looking at our analytics and stuff.
right?
And like when we talked about these things, there was more retention
Exactly.
for whatever reason.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Right.
But I just worry that right now trying to
Like hyper focus on
focus on a subject, I think we need to mix it up, you know. We can if there's something that we all three think we could talk about for an hour for an episode.
I could do something for an hour for an episode,
Exactly.
but an episode a week? I
Right,
could not
because
do it.
none of us are experts in anything.
it. Right.
We just really like a lot of stuff, you know?
So, yeah, because I was thinking like what would someone, and like the question that I had for later, the more serious one, is like something that the niche could be. But I don't want to move on to that till we're done talking. But
well, there's so many things that the three of us are all somewhat interested in that
Right.
overlap. But of the things we're all somewhat interested in, I don't think any of us are like experts.
right.
I wouldn't consider myself an expert in anything.
I could talk about something a lot, probably a couple different topics, but
Here's an example. It's not a good one. Joe Rogan's podcast. Obviously, he was famous before he became famous for the podcast. He was famous from UFC. He was famous from even Fear Factor. Stuff like that.
Right.
But his podcast, dude, it literally just talks about nothing.
They talk
Now-
about whatever the guest is.
But yes, he does have really interesting guests, and those are podcasts that I really like to listen to, because you get to hear like perspectives. Like I had said when we were talking about it, I think the most important thing of whatever we think we should do is to be real.
Yeah.
Because that's what's cool, like to listen to, is to listen to just three real people talk about something. So I think instead of niches, first and foremost, we just maybe focus on finding what structure we want. Like if we have an idea, writing it down during the week of something to talk about.
Yeah.
That also makes it easier when we go to like produce it.
Well,
Yeah.
the saving grace is right now we have one viewer, Steve-O. Once we get an audience, by that time maybe we will have a topic or
Right.
a rough idea.
That evolves it into something.
Right. The people, you guys watching this right now, you're not watching this when it came out. You're probably watching it 2 years later when we made it big and we're in LA.
Right.
So
And it's like
Right.
hit the algorithm.
I'll never live in LA.
I was
but
literally about to say that. I would never go to LA. Hey, are you LA?
we're
Fuck
in
you.
Columbus.
Well, the cool thing about the internet is you can be based out of where the freaking heck ever.
Yeah, cornfield. That's gonna fall.
So yeah, I think talking about things, marijuana, talking about things
Podcast.
as three people who are similar but have pretty distinct perspectives on things. Like parts of our personalities, can give three different views on a subject, or similar views but different perspectives on a subject.
Right.
So that alone to me is interesting. Now, someone may tune in and be like, "What are they talking about?" My other worry with the niche thing is like I said, it'd be pushing away potential listeners or potential watchers. Because there's no way in the world I'm going to watch a podcast about teaching. Or I'm just saying that because that was an example. I didn't even know that was a thing. Obviously, if someone wants to be a teacher and they're in that world, yeah, they're going to want to listen to a podcast about teaching.
She even has a podcast about plants that she wants to listen to.
Like those are super specialized podcasts.
Yeah.
I think having, maybe just working on having a general outline for the podcast, making it more of a production, not necessarily, but, more, well, we've talked about this, we've got this many things on the docket, let's talk about this next, is a good step. And then once we start releasing, if we can look at analytics, like I said, in our data, then decide, okay, people like when we talk about social things. So right now, I'd say our niche is life.
I'm wondering if
which is extremely general. So yeah, I guess for now we'll run with that if that's cool, and if we have any other ideas during the week.
Yeah, and to try to so again, I know literally nothing about podcasts, but what people say is that the analytics for podcasts aren't very good. It's not like YouTube where you can see where they are, what they watch, blah blah blah. It's very generic and basic, but the biggest way that people gauge their growth is number of downloads, like week over week. Are you growing in your downloads and your watch time, your listen time? So if we title our episodes, of a rough overarching theme or a rough topic that we talked about for that episode, that'll give people something to click on and help us build that way to test.
Especially if they talk, like if it's something we talk about like in the middle of the podcast.
Yeah.
Or like
wait for it.
Or like, maybe not the middle, maybe a little bit further, to the beginning. But they see a clip or the title and they're like, "Ooh, they're going to talk about this." Because how else how is anyone going to show interest? They're not going to show interest in a thumbnail of three random dudes. So it's the title talking about this, or my weird stories. She fell down! ! You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's a good direction to go. So yeah, thank you so much for what. That's the end. I'm just kidding.
All right, episode 3 in the books.
Yep. All right.
See you next week. We'll have Steve-O. It's pretty close.
I saw a clip of him complaining about 5G because it's slower than 4G.
Is that a real thing?
It was at the beginning.
Oh. There's no
Like,
infrastructure.
because their infrastructure couldn't handle. They just tried to release it, the next thing.
Well, there's people that
That's
think
everything.
that 5G is like bad for your health and
Yeah.
like
I mean,
all kinds of crazy crap.
there's a percentage of possibility, but they're probably the same people, that think the Earth is flat. Sorry, I'm going to put this out there right now.
Redacted.
No. I want people to know. I don't think the Earth is flat.
The Earth isn't flat.
I don't think it's flat.
It's not flat. I've
No.
seen it.
I'm on
touched
it. Are you on it?
Yeah.
This is the subject now. This is our entire...
Flat Earth sucks.
No, say no to flat Earth, say yes to drugs.
Yeah.
What a turn.
Little Billy all over again.
Sorry. Okay, so that's a good spot there.
It's a good intro.
Yeah.
So how's your guys' week been?
Yeah. We'll go right to left from their point of view.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Trey
whoa,
first.
whoa, whoa. Say that again.
Trey first.
Ah,
Sorry.
Me first.
you're on there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where am I?
You're next.
Okay. Like now or?
Or Spencer's next. What did we do last time? Me, Spencer, Brandon? I don't
Yes.
remember. Yeah, you were always
Tied
last.
it in the middle.
Sorry.
Because you're in the middle.
Yeah. Okay.
Bottom.
Cut all that out.
Anyways, my
Sorry.
week is always very dependent on my job. Depending on what happens at work is usually how I feel about the week. But yeah, it wasn't that bad this week. It's just so busy because of the holidays and stuff, and my specific team at work is very small, and this week we had people off. So it's a lot of scrambling, like trying to find people to cover, and everyone else is running around with their head cut off and all that stuff. But then I got to go in tomorrow till 4 a.m.
Weird hours, yeah.
Yeah, which sucks, but hopefully after the holidays that's all over with.
Right.
But other than that, pretty good.
Does nothing crazy happen?
No, not really.
Pretty
Kind of
normal.
boring, actually.
Sounds about right.
Boring's good.
Boring's
is
safe
good.
and boring is good.
Boring's predictable.
It's peaceful too sometimes.
Like, man, I'm really bored and time's going slow, but could be worse, I guess.
Nothing bad's happening.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Yeah. So I was actually off the week before. It's Friday when we're filming.
Cheers.
Cheers to that wasted week. So I was back to work this week, and it was pretty good. I also had a meeting with a pretty big client for my business, and had a shoot yesterday for another client. So it was a good week.
Nice.
I actually have a video to show you guys later.
Oh.
The rough edit.
Do you?
It's on my phone. It's on YouTube.
Oh, nice.
Unlisted.
Nice.
Cool.
It was also your birthday.
I did have a birthday. I did.
Can I tell you?
We were supposed to give him a podcast cake.
Can I tell you the truth?
You forgot?
I had no freaking idea.
I don't make a big deal about my birthday.
Dude, I don't even know my parents' birthdays.
Really?
I know Maddie's birthday, and I know
Ooh.
my birthday. I don't even know Drew and Keegan's birthday.
I know my dad's. I know my dad's birthday because it's your birthday.
I know the month. I don't know the day.
I know your birthday because it's 3 days after my birthday.
Right.
Can't remember mom's right now. I can't remember Felicia's or Hannah's.
You guys suck. I know my
Yeah.
parents. That's about
It's just
it.
always been
And
like
I know your guys' is like a week apart in the summer.
3 days.
3 days in the summer.
I know my grandpa's is in August, too.
Mm.
Grandpa Martin's.
Yeah.
It's like August 19th or something.
So subscribe if you forget about birthdays.
Yeah.
Happy late birthday.
I appreciate it.
How old are you, man?
27.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're 28.
Yeah. Yep. I'll never win until you die.
These youngins, you know?
Yep. You know what really sucks though? At work, every employee I have is younger than me except for one.
Oh, really?
All of my employees are older than me. Most of them are like twice my age, but there's like one that's like 20 or early 20s, and then the rest are all 30s and 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
That's how it is for me too, actually.
Yep.
I mean, some of the like, at least like upper management, like me, is like that. Maybe some of the associates are younger, but yeah, like all the upper management is older than me.
Yeah, like all my employees under me are all.
Oh, them too. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm like, other than my one guy holding it down, they're all older.
Holding down the fart.
Dang.
Holding down the fart. Sometimes you got to hold your fart down, not in. Anyway. Yeah. I guess it's my turn, so the rest of the podcast will be dedicated to that. If you haven't already found out, I could talk the entire time.
What?
Anyway. Yeah, I know.
No way.
Surprising. Always have something to say. My weeks fly by for me, but it's because my job in the remodeling business, I'm constantly making progress. Even if it's slower or faster, there's always a change. Like in the last 2 days, I got flooring in, finished drywall, got a tub, vanity, and toilet in. You know what I mean? That's a huge change. It's like...
Yeah.
Ever shifting.
So, the week goes by so fast. So, 2 things happened this week. Both involving my beautiful, gorgeous freaking van.
I thought you were going to say wife, and I know you don't have a wife, but my brain was stuck on
Ain't
that.
even got no girlfriend, man. Ain't even got no woman. Any of y'all want to be... I can't do that accent, can I? I don't care. Any of y'all want to be my girlfriend, hit me up. All right.
For real.
Like, for real, I ain't playing with you,
fine
man.
until you said that.
Yeah.
No, it's not okay.
Don't cancel me. You
His
can't cancel...
His application for dating will be in the show notes.
Thank you.
Yep.
I was going to say you can't cancel what hasn't started, so... Anyway. So 2 major things happened in the van. I don't remember what day. Earlier in the week. Great, he's bored.
I don't know, man.
I feel yawn coming too.
I hate it. That's why I try to keep my mouth closed and just like
You can
absorb
yawn.
it.
We give you permission. You're allowed to yawn.
Thank you.
No problem, man. I hit a pole.
Oh.
Backing up. In the exact blind spot of my van.
Mm.
So I had gone to a Speedway by a library.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't park at Speedway. I parked in the parking space over there because Speedway's always full there.
Right.
Sorry. And so anyway, I parked over there. I did my thing, and I got back in the van, and I was backing up to get to the easiest route out, which is by the library.
Mm-hmm.
Backing up beautifully. Very slow. Because I know I can't. I drive a 3500 Express Chevy van. Okay? 2 windows and a windshield.
No rear view.
No. So I'm driving slow because I know I can't see. I'm watching the mirrors. I'm literally doing this. The whole time. Like, making sure I'm going straight, backing up, and, looking to know where I'm going. And backing up. All of a sudden, scares the freaking crap out of me, and then I'm sad immediately. I get out of the van. It was a light pole that has concrete around it.
Yep.
All I did was bend the bumper. Back door's open. I think it adds a little character now that I've accepted it. Like, my back door's open. Luckily, my license plate is on the door, not on the bumper.
Back door's like stuck open?
No, they open. I mean, they didn't,
okay.
Because it bent it down. I was afraid it wouldn't.
Yeah.
It like pinched
Gotcha.
them.
Uh-huh.
They open. Everything works fine. I left immediately. But dude, you could see like the yellow marks directly in the middle of the van. There was no hope in me seeing that at all unless I knew it was there.
We need to get you a backup camera for Christmas.
I want to get a backup camera, but there's electrical problems in the doghouse. Only one of the outlet things work, and the other outlet, now that this new phone I have, will not charge via the cord. I have to use wireless charger again.
Wow.
So I have a wireless charger car mount. Anyway, freaking ridiculous. So that was the first thing. I was pretty sad. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I've literally had dreams of my van being destroyed. I love this thing. And if you don't know, I talked about it, van life. I live in my van.
Yeah, I think
So
you
yeah.
said that.
He
On
had
one
a
of the
fender
episodes.
bender in his house.
Yeah, my house got hurt.
His back door got
Yeah,
busted.
and not like the college kind.
Oh no.
So that was the first thing. Oh no, we can keep that in. Come on. The second thing was this morning. I have an aftermarket radio. And it's pretty cool, shiny blue lights is pretty big. This morning, I'm turning on the van. Usually if I'm turning the van on, I'm getting ready to leave. I turn on the van, and the radio comes on, and it's just continually scanning. It'll go to a station, and then immediately go to the next one, and I'm pressing this button. I don't have a scan button on this radio, so I have like forward and back. Where you'd like go to the next station. I'm pressing like back, and it's shutting it off. It's turning it off. So then I press the power button and it turns back on. I'm like trying to get it to stop doing the functions, and it's turning it off. So then I turn the van off. It turns on. It turns off. It turns on. It turns off. It turns on. And it just keeps turning on and off.
That's not good.
So I'm like looking at the time. I'm like I'm pissed.
Was this in the morning
Yeah, this morning.
when you woke up to get in?
So morning time, Brandon. Woo! Armageddon, let me tell you. I would do things to people with my fists. Anyway, never mind. That was a joke. I'm canceled. Great. Podcast over.
Not a joke.
Welcome back now that we cut that part out. So I remove the panels on my dash, which wasn't as hard as I thought it'd be. I remove them, and I'm like finagling in there trying to find where the power cable is on my radio. But before that, it has 2 mounting points. So I spent probably 10 to 15 minutes trying to get these bolts off, to later find out all I have to do is swivel it up and I can access the power thing. Then I spent another 3.5 to 4 minutes trying to get that plug out, cussing the entire time. The entire time.
The whole street was awake.
Finally get it out, and now I got to sit in my van, and just like 21 Pilots said, I have to sit in silence, and sometimes the silence is violent.
At least no one stole it.
No one stole it. I mean, at this point, go ahead.
Take it away.
Yeah. So that might be my project this weekend, is to take it actually out and see if there's something physically wrong that I can see, or if it's just decided to take a poop.
How old is it?
I have no idea. It was in the van when I bought the van. Van's at least a year old. Well, I've had the van for at least a year. So. So that is that.
This is not the same thing at all. But, I have like a small photography and videography company.
Really?
I know. I've been keeping it a secret.
What's it called?
It's called, I was gonna say something bleep worthy, but yeah. So I watch a lot of like film stuff now. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you do and have and will and whatnot. I watched a video where a guy turned an ambulance into a.
I was moving it closer, so I was hoping you'd say your business name.
Yeah, maybe later.
So it'd be like
I'll
blah
tease it
blah
later,
blah
yeah.
blah blah.
Right. Turned an ambulance into like a production van.
That's cool.
It was really cool.
I've watched videos of turning ambulances into homes.
Yeah.
But yeah, a production van would be cool.
Yep. I saw like the Sprinter vans. I saw a guy. That's super common. The ambulance is not, because no one buys that. But
Right.
it was really cool. It was neat to watch. That's all.
Oh.
So now I'm gonna buy an ambulance.
Yeah.
That's where I was going
It's
with
in the
that.
works.
Yeah. Or
I've seen them on Facebook Marketplace, genuinely.
I would actually buy an ambulance to do that with, if it came to a point where I could use that. Have like a grip truck. But what I would love to do is buy like a service truck, like utility beds, with all the drawers and cabinets on the sides.
Oh yeah.
I think that'd be cool too.
That'd
Lift
be
it up a little bit, 4-wheel drive,
Mm-hmm.
like a redneck production truck.
Yep.
Old school buses aren't too expensive
Sweetheart.
either.
Short buses, people do that with short buses too. They make van life.
Make them out of
The bus-
moms.
The caveat to buses, you get a lot of space. Either you get a big one or a short one, but you have a lot of space.
Right.
Normally you can stand in them, but you got to be a freaking diesel mechanic or have a lot of
yeah.
money to, spend in repairing them. A lot of the time these buses have, if you're buying them on Facebook
I've had
Marketplace,
a rough life.
they've seen their days, man.
Right.
So it's like
Boogers under the seat.
there's a caveat, really. It's different than buying like a vehicle that individuals have owned other than like schools. Because
Yeah.
it depends on how well they were maintenance at the school, which if you're working in a school maintenance department, listen, no offense, but you probably don't want to be there. So,
But you could get a government one that's been on a routine maintenance schedule.
yeah, that'd
That'd
be
be a good.
Yeah.
And you'd
Yeah.
have reinforced windows, so
Yep.
like zombie apocalypse van life,
Yep.
bus life.
All those firefights, doesn't
I
matter.
like it.
I don't know. I don't know where they got it from, but someone at church camp, they would bring theirs every year. They had it painted like black, and all the windows were painted black and stuff.
You know,
I never was inside of it, but
there's a reason for that.
You weren't chosen.
You didn't want to be chosen.
I was chosen.
Oh,
That explains a lot. Beep. Mike's. You know Mike? Yeah. He has a short bus that on the frame. It was a full size bus that it was chopped into like the size of a short bus,
mm-hmm.
and on the back half, he's got it's like a toy hauler basically.
It's freaking cool.
So he's got the front half of the bus that he can live in, and the back half is like a trailer to put his golf cart and like farm equipment that he goes to farm shows with.
Oh.
It's really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. If I'm ever independently wealthy, I want to have all kinds of like little random projects like that.
That would be sweet.
Yeah.
What would you guys do? Let's say you came to a good sum of money. It doesn't matter what that sum is, but let's just say it's a life-changing sum of money.
$1 million. I gotta have a number.
Okay, sure, $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
You cut however it would be, the cliche lottery or whatever.
Yeah.
Coming to
After tax.
Thanks, man. Of course
Sorry.
you remember the money. After tax, okay, that's important.
mean?
Well, because
Your
you're a
money.
money guy. You like to think about money.
Yeah.
I hate money, genuinely. That's another conversation.
I guess I'm the middle ground there.
Yeah,
We should do a podcast on finances.
I won't.
Okay. We should do a podcast on finances.
No, I mean like
Right.
I wouldn't. I could be.
No, just one episode, not a whole podcast.
Well, yeah, and I could be the guy that's just like I hate money the whole time. I would do it 100%. I just wouldn't have any input in finance,
Write that
like
down.
anything.
Write that down.
That is a good
Write that
idea
down.
though, but I wouldn't have any input except for comedy. Anyway, get $1 million. Okay,
Yep.
Mhm.
and boom, what would you do with it?
Try first.
Well, of course, your immediate thought is to be very selfish and just get things that you want. So my immediate thought is, well, I have two immediate thoughts. My first immediate thought is pay off all my debt. So the house is paid off, the cars are paid off, whatever else. It's all paid off.
Mm-hmm.
And then second would be like, probably like invest in something that I want to do that does not require me to be at a employer.
So like start a career or like start a new income.
Yeah, or like start a business or something.
Okay.
Or focus on whatever you have going already or whatever. My music always comes to mind. I probably wouldn't use like all of it for music. Just like invest in a 10-song album or something like that.
You do a home recording studio.
Yeah. Or like update this room or something and make a really good streaming room or something like that. I'd
For fun or
probably-
for money? I have to clarify.
Probably, well, I guess it'd be for both.
Okay.
But, that would let you be more serious about it too. I'd probably give some to my parents. No. No. Not the parents.
Anything but the parents.
That's what immediately comes to mind anyways.
Your turn.
You know why? Because he's got a good opinion on this.
I've actually thought about this a lot, and I know I'm going to eat up time, so.
I was just gonna say I have thought about this a lot,
Perfect.
but I don't think I'll eat up as much time.
Okay.
It all started. No, just kidding. This
Back in
will
fourth grade.
this will always come into my mind. Like I'll be driving, and I guess right now I'm driving in the silence. But I'll be driving, and it'll pop into my mind. What would I do if the unthinkable happened, and I got $1 million
Right.
or whatever. I never think of a money amount, but I guess $1 million is fine.
Just an easy number. That's the
Yeah.
only reason I said it.
the first thing, and genuinely, the first thing I would do with the money is set up Mom, Felicia, and Hannah. Like, whatever that means. Set them up.
Yeah.
So they don't have to worry about, whatever else in life.
Right.
Or just a big help, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
take that stress away for a while.
And the next is I'd hook up my friends with stuff. I don't know what that would be.
Who are your friends?
Here's a $20 bill, man.
Yeah. Here's $1. Listen, I've got a million more of those, but you don't. No, I'd hook up my friends with stuff, whether it be like take a big dad or something, or like a
do something for him.
Yeah.
It's very generous.
And then obviously I would do something with, in my situation right now, I would buy a new van.
Dude, you could.
I still want to live in a van.
Could do more than that.
But I would want to have a space that could be an office.
Yep.
So I would buy land. Maybe not like crazy amount of land, but I definitely would buy land.
Yeah.
Because, as the country song says, buy dirt, okay? God ain't making
actually
no
love that
more of
song.
it. It's a good song.
Yeah.
I'd buy land. I'd put like a little tiny home on it with electricity, internet, and that would be my office. And I'd be able to sleep there, but I would live in my mobile van.
Yeah.
So I'd set myself up so that I could make short films. But now the question is, I wouldn't want to make money off the short films, so I'd have to have a way to make money. So I'd go directly to a freaking financial advisor, because I can't do it myself, and be like, listen, we need to somehow grow this money or keep it coming so I'm not spending it all.
Right.
Yeah.
Help
Don't let me
me
blow this.
make it so that I can make this livable without, working a normal job, so I can do what I love, which would be making short films or documentaries and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's a very smart answer.
That's what I would do. But in reality, I'd blow it all in one day. One day.
1
World's most
million
expensive
cheeseburgers.
Yeah. 1 million high fives from a prostitute.
Take a year to get through.
Oh my Lanta.
She'd probably die, in the process. Can I eat? Mm-mm. 1 million high fives. So
I like it.
that is what I've always thought about. So I'm sure it's way better than whatever you say. Good.
I actually, I want to answer for you two also. Like if I were you, what I would do.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like if I was Trey, I would do
Right.
X stuff.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if I was Trey, I'd pay off my house. And this doesn't include giving to family, friends, and parents, right? This is just the things I would do for myself.
Mm-hmm.
If I was Trey, I would, if I liked my house, I'd pay it off. If I didn't, I'd sell it and buy a house that I liked, right?
Right.
In that house, I'd make a small, the size of, the studio in right now, a small recording studio and another small streaming studio. The rest I would invest. If I was Brandon, I would buy an office space with a garage bay. I would buy a brand new or very slightly used van, outfit it with a 4-wheel drive unit, or if it didn't already have one, and then build it out the right way. Spend the money, build it out like freaking bomb-proof, live in it. And then the rest I would buy camera gear and whatever. Now myself, and I guess I think like you said, I've thought about this a lot, even though I don't play the lottery. Literally, I've never played the lottery.
Me either.
But I still think about what I would do if I won.
Mm-hmm.
I would sell my house, buy a different one. Spend probably $50,000 to $75,000 building my business, and then maybe another $50,000 building another business.
Something more,
Yeah,
money making with less risk.
No.
Oh,
Just
so
as much-
something
just,
more.
just a different business.
Oh, okay.
The stuff that we're wanting to get into and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I would invest pretty much every other penny other than helping my mom and dad. That's,
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't, first of all, for the first year, I wouldn't give anyone anything. I want that money to settle. I want to let everything, the couple big purchases, the house and whatever, I want that to settle and get used to that.
You want to believe that it's real.
Sure. And then after a year, then I'd buy my parents a house or whatever. But then the rest of that, all of that is going straight into investments. So that kind of like you, I can make that money while I sleep. I don't have to
Right.
actually work a job.
That would be my dream.
Right.
Like, oh, I have a lot of money. Here, help me. Well, in my case, I would have to go to somebody. I wouldn't freaking know.
Well, with that much, you'd be stupid not to.
Yeah.
Any of us.
I'd be like, listen, help me make this money.
Right.
Okay? But I think you should invest in teeth. Shut up, Grandpa.
USA Grandpa.
And then I get another one.
Get another grandpa?
I meant investor, but honestly.
You can buy one with that money.
Yeah.
Million high fives from that Grandpa. Don't make me do more, I'm dying.
My head.
Not my prosthetic hand.
His fingers are just bent all different ways.
Don't you just love pretending that your grandpa's dead? Anyway. I'm sorry, I don't have a grandpa. I mean, I have one, like he's alive, but
But he's not my grandpa.
he's not a grandpa. Anyway, that was fun.
That was a good question.
Yeah.
Good scenario.
If you want, I can. Well, no, Trey. Trey had something
Oh, yeah.
that we don't care about. So anyway, I'm just kidding, sorry.
Anyways.
I'm just trying to get the audience to hate me so they like you guys more.
I was talking to Maddie about how we were trying to find we were talking about like if we wanted to make the podcast a niche or whatever. And I was like, well, what do we have collectively that we could talk about? Because we're not really experts on anything. The only thing that not the only thing, but one of the things that I was talking to Maddie about was we've all been friends for so long, and it's a rare thing for that to happen because a lot of people don't have friendships that last as long as we have. So I was going to open it with like a question of like, why do you think it's lasted? Why do you think it's become what it is to this day? Or, we could have segments on how other people can find friendships like that and grow them maybe or something like that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that came to my head.
I think it'd be hard for me to talk about that. Not like an emotional hard, but like
Yeah.
I'd run out of things to say pretty quick.
Yeah, I would definitely be just like a segment every so often, maybe.
Yeah.
Not like every time we'd have to talk about like, oh yeah, we
That one time.
we go to the lake and canoe every Thursday at 3 p.m. and
That ties in a little bit with what I wanted to talk about, sort of.
okay,
Like right now.
yeah,
After that, I have a question that's totally off topic. So stick with this. Then when we're done, I have the next.
sir.
Okay. I'll make...
Take
Well,
your time.
Okay. So, as I was trying to figure out a word earlier, I still don't know it. But this was one of the mornings this week, and I was scrolling through... Listen, I'm on this TikTok live thing. Bro, you can just find so many characters.
Yeah.
But I found one of the lives that was actually, like, not weird. It was interesting, and it's one of the ones where they have, like, text at the top, and it posed as a question. Sometimes...
Yeah, like a debate one.
Or, well, in this case, it was
Oh.
a question,
Mhm.
and then they were talking about it, having people talk about it. A lot of them I don't like the debate ones, like, the earth is flat, God isn't real,
Yeah.
I'm
Prove
an
to me that God
atheist,
is real.
prove to me this, whatever. I think those
Trump
are...
sucks.
Right.
Biden sucks.
Right, those are stupid, and I don't want to listen to those. But this one it was in the realms of sociological anthropology,
Oh.
which is just a combination of sociology and anthropology, which all that really has to do with is our social environment.
Mm-hmm.
The question and the wording, again, can't remember, but the question was, are men discriminated against? Which is not... Discrimination is not the right word. But what the question was asking was, now that we have this movement in whatever, where it's like this side, like women rights this side, and now they're pushing men down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Persecuted?
mean? It's not persecution, because persecution typically has to do with like actual physical action. It also has
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. It's gonna bug me. I'm gonna keep trying to think. But continue.
So I was thinking about it because originally...
Is it like privileged or something? Do you think
The
men?
opposite of privileged.
It was a question of because the girl, her stance was that men are right now. Like, men in general. It doesn't have to do with if you're gay, straight, or whatever. It's men in general.
The male sex.
Right.
That they are discriminated
That they
against?
are discriminated against. And again, I wish I could remember that word.
Yeah.
And at first when I was listening to it, my perspective is really only based off of my surroundings.
Yeah.
Like my social group, my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never felt discriminated against or whatever. I've never felt, but that's me. That's how I am. You know what I mean? It's like, even if I was being discriminated against, I'd be like, "That you're an idiot. Like, that's stupid." But then one of the guys comes on and he talks about how, like, a lot of men are raised like that crying or showing emotion is wrong, which is true. Then I was thinking, but I've grown up like in church, and you see people that you look up to, men, get emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah, like strong men too.
Right, and that's the difference between, which is ties into kind of the friendship thing. A lot of that is we have a deeper relationship than most friends would have,
Right.
because you can be friends with someone but never really share emotions with them, or
Right.
share an emotional environment.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of it is because we grew up in a church together and we've shared, an emotional environment, so that's opened us up and made a deeper relationship.
Right.
From a physical level, from a social level, not like a spiritual level.
Right.
But yeah, so I was thinking about that. I was like, my perspective is completely different than these people who are all calling in. Because they talk about all kinds of things from, like our governments and big powers controlling the populace.
Yeah, like powers that be. Though.
Right.
Yeah.
Or big powers kind of setting the social standard.
Right.
Like, for example, Disney firing that one girl from The Mandalorian because she wouldn't, like...
Gina
Oh.
Carano.
Yeah, she wouldn't apologize for some silly whatever it was.
Check a tweet or something.
Right.
I don't even remember.
Or, yeah, she did. Yeah, she said or did something that was insensitive.
Right. And I don't remember. But that got me thinking about, I think right now what our society is trying to do is recalibrate. Because we went from hating on women, hating on minorities and all this. Now, obviously, people still do.
Yeah.
But the social forefront is now switching. But the way our society works is it always freaking switches to an extreme
It's a pendulum.
before it balances itself out.
Yeah.
We went from really freaking racist and just hating and killing and... Welcome back to that redacted statement. So we went, from that, and then it went to whatever other extreme, and then balanced out. But now it's a new one, whatever the new movement is, okay? And now it's gone to, now it's not that extreme, but it's gone to a social extreme where famous people are getting canceled, now to be a white guy,
You're the
straight white guy, you're a bad person just because of who you are, which is hypocritical, because if they're claiming that who they are is important, that they can't be discriminated against, we're being who we are, but it's okay for you to discriminate against us or whatever.
Yeah, it's
So I think the society's trying to recalibrate itself, and I think this is all part of the process. That was my conclusion when I was listening to it. I was like, this is just a part of the process. It's just a part of the recalibration of our society. And that's the title of this episode.
But hopefully it recalibrates right, if that makes sense.
In the direction it's going, it may not, but...
I
Yeah.
feel like the biggest, it sounds overdramatic, but the biggest tragedy is people want to take away, on both sides, man or woman, what makes a man special and what makes a woman special.
Right.
People want to blur that boundary and take away, the benefits that each one has. Like toxic masculinity and, that crap, and feminism. They're both trying to just blur it to the middle. Where men are good at certain tasks.
100%.
Physically better at certain tasks. Women are physically and mentally on both sides better at certain things.
Yep. Biochemically, literally, it is proven information.
Yeah.
that men and women are different.
Yeah.
For the better of men and women.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you take away what makes them different, what makes them special, there's no point.
I don't know. They are trying to blur everything into a middle mush right now.
Yeah.
Which is a part of the calibration. But when you're trying to blend it into a middle mush, and you're trying to calibrate our society, the result could be negative. I mean, it could be completely not what would be beneficial for us to move forward as a society. A lot of it has to do with, for example, Elon bought Twitter.
Yep.
Okay?
Have you
Okay.
seen some of the stuff that's
Sure
come out
did.
from that?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting to. We have this information from the election when Biden was running. You know what I mean? All these like documents of like the government telling Twitter to censor like these people, and then Twitter being like handled.
Or censor topics that
Right.
would sway
Shadow ban,
sway
censor.
opinions.
Like we've literally like negated the purpose of voting, like our
and free
democracy.
speech.
Free
We've taken
speech
away free
was like
speech.
literally out the window. But what worries me is like, well, we already kind of knew this. Biden got in. You know, it was manufactured that way. Not that I want to talk about politics, but I don't really know that much about him anyway. I know that he's crazy. But it's just like crazy to me that that we're at a point in our social world that our government has like taken upon itself to like to form to like
They're like playing God with
yeah
their people.
to like manipulate our election, which the whole point of voting is for us to have our say, and then we read those results and be like, okay, they voted for this person, they want that person, whether it is ultimately the right choice or not.
Right.
But now it's, you know, it's just like a freaking movie. It's like the antagonist has now come down and manufactured and put their perfect puppeteer in place
It's a
to
dystopia.
lead an entire freaking country.
It's like a really high level Sims.
Yeah. Whoa.
That you paid for.
And I'm not listen, I haven't voted.
Ever.
I voted when I was 18.
Okay.
And I voted once for Ted Cruz before like the final election stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I have not voted since then. Because I can't bring myself to like choose between this piece of crap and this piece of crap.
Yeah.
But not that I want to talk about politics. I should have voted for Trump. Listen, I thought he was stupid. Come on, Biden's an idiot.
He's just senile. Like,
Yeah.
right, left, like him, love
He's-
him, hate him. He's freaking. He should not be in office.
He's doped up, bro. He's put on like an Adderall, and then they write out every step of his day, and then when he doesn't have it, that's when he stammers and just. Did you see the clip where he fell
Dog
asleep?
face pony soldier.
Yeah. Did you see the clip where he fell asleep during an interview?
Oh, it was like a TV show, TV episode or something.
It was like a news something or something like
Okay,
that. They're interviewing him. He's literally falling asleep in the middle of talking, literally falling asleep. And the guy interviewing him was like, President Biden, like trying to like not call it out, to be like, oh, you're tired, hey, lots to do in that White House, and he's literally falling asleep.
Jeez.
Should not be in office.
Yeah, scary. I gotta sneeze.
Bless you.
Bananas.
It's gone.
You gave it to me.
Bananas.
Citrus, apple, cocaine. So anyway,
Apple cider.
you had something. That's my spiel. Didn't want this to become
Oh, I
political, but
did.
you know what? In
Oh,
reality, it's
no.
not politics. It's observation
Oh, I got it.
as Americans. We're observing that our distasteful leader in the office is incompetent.
Giving an upper 20s view on our
Yeah.
country.
Upper
Anyway.
20s. Oh,
Upper 20s age wise, sorry.
yeah.
Clarify.
Took me a
Not like a rating or anything.
Or 27.
America's like a 20 out of 100, you know.
Yeah. So you talked about what would you do if you hit the lottery or whatever, had a rich uncle die, whatever, came into a bunch of money. And the scenario is different for all three of us. But what would you do if you I don't know. Let's say you got in a car wreck, you got sued or something, and you lost your job, so you had no income, and you lost any amount of money you had in the bank. It doesn't mean that you lost your van, and it doesn't mean that we lost our houses, but you had literally nothing. What would you do, Brandon?
Depends on how severe it is.
You lost your job. You didn't get like arrested or anything, but you cannot go back to that job. You're still like able-bodied. What?
I've lived this many times.
Well, then you're the perfect person to ask. If you had nothing,
You
no
sulk
money.
for a while. You go on a walk,
I'm listening.
and then you start applying for other jobs.
Okay.
And you just starve sometimes or not have money to buy food, and then finally tell people that, hey, I might need some food. And then you get some food, and then you get a job again. And then you hate that job and quit that job randomly. And then, you keep going until you find a job like I have right now that I like. Until I don't. No, I'm just kidding. I gotta stay at this job. I can't keep quitting jobs, dude. I gotta be an adult at one point in my life. Like,
And some people never get that far. Some people just lose their job and then it's just downhill. There's a lot of people. I don't want to say a lot of people. It seems that our generation would rather just play the victim when something like that happens.
here is my turning point. For me personally, and I'm not gonna get I don't want to get too personal on the podcast. I don't really care, but no one wants to hear it. Maybe they do. Let me know in the comments.
Steve-O does.
Steve wants to hear it. Rest in
Yep.
peace. Wait, he's not dead. Rest alive, Steve. Great. Watch. He dies tomorrow. Watch.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Thanks.
we're the Simpsons podcast now.
What was it? My turning point for me was when my parents were divorcing. When I found the truths of what my dad was saying, how he didn't want anything to do with Hannah, my sister, and that he shouldn't have to pay anything. That was a turning point because I was like, well, now I have to be a protector of my mom and my two sisters.
Yeah.
Now it wasn't like some gallant thing or whatever. It was just a realization because I could have easily 100% just gotten worse and worse. Easy, dude. Pfft, bet. I'll just do nothing and wait until I die. Easy. Totally capable of doing that. Truthfully. I mean, I could just go try to live in the woods until I die. I don't know. But yeah, so that was the turning point. I was like, I gotta, since my flesh and blood father can't be a protector and he's actually trying to detriment the family, I now have to step up. Not be a total, all the way there, but
Right. You're the backup.
I have to be alive
Assuming
For
the
that.
role.
because my brother
Yeah.
is also addicted to drugs and in jail now, so he can't do it, and he's older than me, so it's my job now to step that up. So that was my turning point, and a lot of people who have been in those situations probably have turning points or
Like a realization
pivot
moment.
realizations where they're like, and I still quit jobs after that, by the way, but that is what made me be like, all right, okay, we quit the job, we hated it. I'm glad I quit it because I hated it, and I'm not going to do something I hate. But
Gotta
now
do
I got to
something.
find another job. So
What would you do?
I honestly don't know. I mean, obviously, I'd also have to look for another job or something. Thankfully, I have, Maddie would be very supportive of it, and she'd probably get something, which would suck because she'd have to kick her career to the side or supplement somehow. Yeah, because I've thought about this before, because you guys know that I don't necessarily like my job too much.
Really?
Yeah. And
sorry.
I don't know, just being I don't want to say I was coddled, but I didn't have a lot of moments in my life where I had to live an adult life and do things like that, which I think is part of the reason why, being the only one that has a job and making the income and, supporting your wife while she's in school and stuff like that makes it so hard. So I'd probably just have to find another job somewhere else. We might have to ask for help, or I don't know. Could I sell the house at that point and then just go live with?
Just finish your thought. I'll restart the recording and
Oh,
then you.
I was just gonna go off the selling thing. Every time I quit a job, I sold everything I owned. Good.
Because I was thinking like sell the house, then like move in with maybe because my mother-in-law has a very large house that
Right.
could fit Maddie and I.
Take Drew's room.
Yeah. Drew's got my old room.
Yeah, take your room back, dude.
'Cause Drew has the flu right now. Sorry, buddy.
Uh,
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't exactly know what to do in that situation, to be honest. I'd probably have to like ask you guys or call my dad or something like that.
You were
Oh, yeah.
talking about you might sell the house, move in with your parents or in-laws.
It's either that or Maddie and I would both have to get some kind of supplement income.
Yeah, drugs, prostitution.
OnlyFans,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Feet only, or whatever the
Only hands.
yeah.
Only hands, only feet.
Only nose?
Only
Wee wee.
Only nose. Yeah, only wee wee.
only head.
Yeah,
3.
only knuckles.
That reminds me of this TikTok of a choo-choo train, and it is literally like Keegan if he was a choo-choo train. I'll show you later. It's hilarious. I might have sent it to you, honestly.
Maybe I haven't checked in a while.
All right.
That's another scenario where like if I didn't have you guys or supportive family and something like that in life happened, I would probably just downward spiral for
Well, but if you didn't have supportive family in that scenario, you probably would have already experienced a life
Right.
situation like that.
We would
That's
have
also
that
true.
spiral, a mini spiral, and then kind of.
Yeah.
So, as a guy that doesn't drink or do drugs, what would your spiral look like?
Trying to drink or do drugs, probably.
probably just be self-inflicted pity or something. I don't know.
Like just deep depression, like
Something like that. I don't know.
Just start smoking.
It's like
Dude.
when I'm distraught about something, I just shut down. I don't talk. I sit in silence somewhere, and just roll around in my thoughts till it drives me crazy. Basically, probably not healthy, but
Well, you're also trying to center yourself. You're contemplating about the issue.
yeah.
You just have to sift through the, self-deprecating thoughts. What about you, Shawanda?
yes.
Wanda.
Yeah, so it depends. So if I would try to get a job, like obviously as soon as possible, but if I didn't, I'd probably try to move in either with my father-in-law or my mom.
Yeah.
Which one would you choose?
I don't know. I mean, neither are preferable. But
Who would you argue with less?
Sorry, Mom.
less? Argue with
At
less?
first.
I feel like I would argue less with my father-in-law in general.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
and your mom are similar sometimes, so that's
We would
where you
argue a lot. Yeah.
I couldn't live with my mom. I would argue with her all the time. I just go see her every day, and then about an hour, and I leave.
Kick her out.
Yep, that's a safe.
Sometimes that's just the best thing.
Yeah. If I wasn't married, I would sell my house and buy a van, honestly. Or a truck with a cap on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 100%. Get a Y membership or something.
What would you do right now if you weren't married?
Right now. What do you mean right now?
Actually, no. Okay, here's my scenario. As a single man, I could say that it's easy. What would you do if right now, Sierra, beep, your wife, welcome back from that redacted statement. What would you do right now if you went home and your wife was like, listen, I think we should do a divorce. This is very unlikely. She's like, I think we should get a divorce, and and you can't convince her otherwise.
What would I do?
Yeah, so it's divorce time.
Is that the only criteria?
It's divorce time.
Yeah, that's the criteria.
I would keep the house and probably never.
Maybe we shouldn't talk.
Beep. This will be for like the Patreon
Yep,
or
Patreon. Just don't
Yeah.
show your wife. We're good.
Nope, she didn't pay the money.
We'll just cut this segment out.
No, we're just saving it for that.
Oh, okay.
No, I would keep the house and be single the rest of my life, 100%. Probably buy a new car and not have backups. And
Do you have your little side piece or something?
no, nope.
No side piece.
Listen, it's
I'd
hard.
probably get a second job too.
It's hard being single and not a guy who sleeps around. Okay?
I can imagine.
It's hard.
I was there.
Okay? I've been there for 9 years now. And I haven't done anything with anyone.
It's good though.
I don't count.
Well, yeah, it's good.
It's disciplined.
It's my fear of having a child.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that works too.
That's a good discipline.
Yeah. Like, it's a genuine fear that I'm always thinking about, which is what, I've come as close as getting on a dating website and being like, hey, we should hook up. And then 10 minutes later,
Nah.
Just finding a woman over 50.
if she's good looking, bring it, dude. Anyway.
Put a pause on life.
Yeah. What about you, Trey?
If I got divorced,
Well, let's say,
If you came home and she was like,
she was like, listen,
we're done. It's over.
I identify now as a chihuahua, and I can't be married to a human. No, she didn't say that. You know what I mean? It's one where at that moment in time, she's just, you can't convince her otherwise or talk about it otherwise.
Clean break.
one and done.
What? Is that what you would do? Like, come
No,
on,
no.
one more? Like, before you go?
Ah, man. Well, first of all, the emotional damage that would have would be really bad.
Oh, yeah. Not for him, but
I should.
I
just kidding.
Good.
I probably wouldn't get married again either.
I should clarify. I wouldn't get married again because I know how hard marriage is. Like, even good marriages are freaking hard.
Yeah.
And I'm selfish, and I know that, and I'd rather not do that again. Honestly.
I haven't been married and I came to that conclusion.
Like, if this part would be cut out, but if Sierra ever died or something, nah. Not.
I should have just
nothing.
went with that scenario.
I agree. Because I've thought about that before. What would I do if that happened?
Right.
Nothing. I mean, grieve obviously, and,
Yeah, you
and
just
try to
have
live
to-
life, but
Party.
meth.
Party. I never partied.
I'll invite you guys over to my van and we can do some lines.
Nice.
Just like disco ball lights coming out
Yeah.
the two front windows.
Hitting us in the face on the way around.
Yeah. You guys having fun? Now I guess I have to ask myself what I would do.
Yeah. So,
if-
what'd you do if you came home and you were married?
What? I would go to a freaking mental hospital.
I'd probably let Cody move in.
Whoa. Wow. Okay. I feel like we got more in the tank,
What a tangent.
but I don't know what.
We got 18 minutes worth of tank left.
What's
That'll be an hour and a half.
What's the ducks? What does the duck say to do?
Quackulated.
What does the duck say to me when I'm sad?
Quack you?
That's mean. I mean, we could talk about the short film.
I
But
got a joke that'll quack you up.
I don't get it.
Oh.
You don't have to.
Are you on Quack? You talk about the Christmas video.
Yeah. Is there... sorry, something just came to my...
Good.
To my head. To my... Is there anything that we wouldn't want to talk about?
What do you mean?
Like a certain subject?
On the podcast?
Yes.
I think there's different levels of deepness we probably wouldn't want to talk about.
I wouldn't want to dedicate much time to politics, like actual politics.
Oh,
yeah.
you're talking about like overall topics.
Yeah. Or like... I don't know, like...
Math.
Would we ever want to talk about something spiritual or religious? Or...
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine touching on it. I just don't want it to be like the primary subject. Like I'd be happy to. Like,
yeah, I'm not saying for like the podcast as a whole. I just mean like...
Yeah, maybe like a 2 or 3 episode series or something.
Yeah.
Or-
On the topic.
even just mentioning, believing and not believing. Like I think that's important. That's part of who we are. I mean, and we want to be real. So I don't care if someone like if they care so much that like we would believe in God that they wouldn't watch, then good.
Go on, get.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
Right.
Like I watch people who don't believe in God. Most of like the people I watch don't. You know, because they're part of the comedian world, and it's like they're part of LA and
I feel like most people media-wise anyways are like that.
right. So it's like I don't care, you know.
Yeah, I don't think there's any topic that I wouldn't be okay talking about for 1, 2, 3 episodes.
But I wouldn't want it to be like the sole part of the podcast.
I agree.
Yeah. I don't care.
But yeah, we could yeah. So if you want, we could briefly talk about. I mean, I know it's me being, you know, a little selfish because it's my idea, but Christmas video. Wish I had the. Oh, I'm halfway through the script right now. Well, the
Wait,
draft,
tell them what you're talking about.
the Christmas video. Oh, tell them.
Yeah.
I forgot you guys were there. You got to make more noise. It makes.
Raise your hand.
Make some noise.
Insert applause. Cut.
So I'm making now. It's not going to be able to. It won't come out by Christmas, just because the idea came too late. Everyone has
Just like her period.
holiday stuff, except I mean, I hate holidays. Well, humbug. This whole video purpose. And I hate you guys too. Yeah, everyone's got like lives during the holidays, so it's probably not gonna happen by then. But it's a video. Let me preface by I don't give gifts during the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Do you outside of the holidays?
Randomly, yes.
Okay.
I'll be like, if I'm somewhere and I'm like, ooh, that person would like that, I'll buy it. I have nothing against
true.
that. I just don't want to do it during the holidays because I feel like it's defeating the purpose of a gift.
It's like the premise.
Because now everyone is like, ooh, it's holiday time. Well, I have to go buy these gifts
Right.
for these people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it.
Obligated.
So I won't do it. I genuinely won't do it. And they'll buy me gifts. And I'll be like, I told you I'm not going to buy you a gift.
But then you feel bad.
I'll feel bad, but I still won't buy you a gift.
That's what we told our family because we just don't have the money to do much this year.
I
So,
always
like,
tell
you don't have to get us anything because we're not doing it either.
Mom, the gift I want for the holidays, and I mean it, is just to spend time together.
Yeah.
That's all I want. That's all I care about. That's way more valuable than any other gift. Now, my mom is someone who she's like, I have to get you a gift.
Yep.
Anyway,
That's just
So-
like,
Give me a new radio.
seems to just be a woman thing
Yeah.
in general.
thank you guys so much for watching.
Now you know how we would handle life-changing circumstances.
Sorry about the randomness. This is the exit of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. We made it to episode 3. Hopefully we all live to make it to episode 4.
Yeah.
If you're liking what's happening, if you have an opinion on where we should take the podcast or
Suggestions.
some ideas, hit us up in the comments. Let us know.
Yeah, comments, message on Facebook group or Instagram account.
Right. I think
YouTube
comment section,
comments.
that information is actually going to really help push us to where we think we can go. Maybe some people have better ideas than we do.
Please share your better ideas.
So yeah,
Or-
thank you.
Yeah, or to make it something you want to listen to.
Right. We're just trying to find our audience and find our comfort zone on where the podcast should go
Your voting actually counts.
this time.
Only this time.
Don't worry, I won't tell anyone to shut you down.
We don't have enough money.
Nope, we don't.
Nope.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching.
Bye.
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 Fuck you.
Beep.